Hello and welcome back to ManCave City. See what we've got planned for this one. So in a previous video I have mentioned that there is a lot of mocks I need to make. There are buildings that I need to put back from the light grey to the dark grey tiles. So in this video I'm going to be focusing on that. However, I also want to show I've got these done. So I've levelled them all off. We've got a couple of legs on each, and then I've made some brick ones at the back just to give me a rough idea, but I'm going to try and get some more of these first. And then I've also got all that to sort out. Plus, I'm still undecided with the train station, because even though it is an odd size and shape, when the train is down, it actually covers a whole carriage, which then means that the passengers front can get out from both doors. So that's the purpose of it being like that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my train stations yet. As I say, I've got a couple more buildings on their way, but for now I've just moved everything over to here. I did have it all kind of roughly placed out to give me an idea, but then I remembered, right, I've got these shelves I want to put up, or raised platforms rather. I just need to figure out what and where I'm going to do with them. That is the thing I'm trying to figure out, because I don't want it to look stupid, but it's got to work, if that makes sense. So I've just moved them back, and I was playing with the idea, let's just stick the tunnel in the middle so it can go straight through. And then I can have my stairs like I had before, which I've got right here. So let's just say, for argument's sake, there's like a stairway to go up to the two platforms. So that's one idea. But then I'm also thinking, well, maybe if I built the tunnel, have a board either side of the tunnel. Possibly. I'm going to reduce the amount of road over here for an idea, but what I was thinking is if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 road plates, and then it can just bring onto this section, whereas before I had it going all the way up and round. If you've watched the previous channels, you'll understand. If not, there's plenty of content. There's a link in the description for all the city updates, so you can go back and get a rough idea of what it looked like when it was previously set up. However, on this side, I'm still undecided, because I want to have it where I can pop them out more, do you know what I mean? You can see more. But then the problem is, if I've got it like out here, I'd have to come round like this, for example, to be able to see that side, or come round like this. If you're going to do it in blocks, then you'd need roads or pathways or something in between, maybe a park, I don't know. So I'm just working on the building at the moment before I do the planning, but I am sort of thinking of the planning as I go along, if that makes any sense. Now, where I used to have the raised platform in this corner, and I used to have the tunnel coming out here, that is all down there still, so I could always put it back, but I'm thinking if I move it all across, this could stay open. I could do something in that corner. I haven't got it so tight and what have you. Means I'd have to try and decorate this bit better, just like I've done over here, kind of thing. So I'm not exactly great with the smooth corners. But at the same time, I was also thinking, well, what if I was to move this down a base plate and I could have some buildings across here as well? Again, there's that, or I could move the whole track forwards and I can have the train come like back here one, and it can go in front of the buildings maybe, and have a row of buildings going around the back. I don't know, there's just so many different ideas, but none of it seems to work or match in my head. Okay, so there's a slight change of plan. The changing of the path tiles will not be in this video, because I might have done a thing. So, trying to get ideas of what buildings I need. How do you work that out? By planning out a layout and then going from there, so you can see what space is available. So, there's a quick glance. Now, this is only a rough draft, but basically, straight away I'm thinking that and that needs to be swapped over, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So, in this corner, I've moved the track up a bit so that it'll come straight out from underneath there and stop here and then disappear. Right, okay, so that's that, not a problem. Then I've moved the skate park, the skate shop and a random shop over this side. Now I'm sat there thinking, okay, well now they've got to try and cross the track. Now, a way to get around that is I could build a staircase coming straight up here. That's why if I swap that for that, then they can go on that side, that can go on that side, and then basically flip reverse it. And then the stairs will come up onto there, but on that side. These will all go over here, but obviously the bank being on the end, and it could be like walk into the bank or round to the laundrette kind of thing. So yeah, I'm liking the idea of having the stairs there. And then these are only like a rough layout, so we've got like the small shops, some of which I wanted to change anyway, and then what used to be part of Rainbow Hotel plus another bit, just as a gap filler as an example. So let's imagine obviously these are swapped over, so you could go up the stairs, you can go across all the shops, then you'll come to this bit, and then you come onto the X-Mansion side. So then you'd be able to walk across the X-Mansion, and then the X-Mansion would stop dead end here, so it wouldn't be a problem. And obviously I'm going to put a tunnel or something here, wall all this corner off, that corner, hide all the legs. So that's the idea for that. Then obviously, like I said, the tunnel, leave that there, have the road come out, across, straight down, so it will still carry on to the Ghostbusters firehouse. It will carry on across this row here because I don't want to keep leaning round to look at stuff, and out of that tunnel there before I carry on that side. So train station put back temporarily, as I say, might end up staying there, but we'll see what happens. But then I'm thinking, it's not going to stay like this, but if the Ferris wheel can somehow be placed there, because London Eye, Liverpool, Birmingham, everywhere you go in the UK, main city wise, they seem to have a big Ferris wheel. So that will be my main Ferris wheel instead of having a theme park. Then we've got the little carousel, we can try and place that, if not, get rid, not a problem. Then I've got all this space down the middle, what used to be a road, so I could move stuff around on there maybe. And yes, I didn't want to look at the backs of stuff, because now it means I've got to flip my camera around to be able to see the fronts. But again, only a temporary thing, it's not definite. So I've got the police station, I've got the aquarium, Asda, Ferris wheel, then there's a space there, there's a space there. So again, you know, just an idea. And then we've got the Avengers compound. This leads onto the road for obviously the vehicle that will come out. Then again, I've kind of got these back here again. So we've got the Fun Hole newsstand and the Bar Weir coffee shop. Cinema on the corner, obviously. The hospital, I've decided I might try and leave it like that, and instead of rebuilding it, and then I can still have an ambulance bay here or something, so the ambulance can pull up in front. Now the perks of having the pathways and then the studs is, as I say, the ambulance can come and then he can pull up on the side, do what he needs to do, get him in. Or even so, I could get rid of this and that could be a little ambulance bay and then come straight out and into the hospital. So there's another idea, and it might actually make a use for this as well. So again, thinking out the box while I'm kind of designing. So that hotel will stay there because it is specifically made for that little gap, which is not a normal size. So all the base plate and everything's been cut, all the mills has been made, so it just fits in that tiny corner. Then I've got a tree there, just why not? move the diner, the park next to the Ghostbusters firehouse. Then I've got this area I can decide what I'm going to do with. Then we've got all three of the Avengers over here. I know I wanted to bunch them all together, but that's better up out the way because it's more of a residential thing, and it's the closest I have to a residential other than my mock hotels. So I've put the Sanctum on the corner, the Daily Bugle, also known as LegoManCave. I'm going to have my hotel there, which the top of that is currently under there. Then I've put the car park back for the Avengers Tower. I'm not going to bother like putting a T section in there. I might just make a little lip through or something. I haven't decided. I might just leave it like that. Then we got the Avengers Tower. I've now got the school tucked in the corner out the way. Again, eventually, not in a rush, it will end up getting sorted. Then fire station, which again is another mock I want to do. The town hall, that which again I wanted to get rid of, but there's no rush at the moment because it just fills that gap. And we've got the train station here. Then we've got the track still in the same position, so the train can go all the way around. It's not turned on, so I'm not going to push it through, but it can go down there, through the tunnel, out here. So there. Right, so that is an idea of my next layout, which gives me all this space here as well for more buildings. So for example, I could have a pathway here. I can have McDonald's, KFC, the jewelers I wanted to redo, post office I wanted to redo, you know, all these different buildings. Plus, as I say, I've got 2 more buildings coming, which are the last ones I'm going to have for a while, other than mocks. So it is a case of what can I do to make the best out of my space. I didn't ideally want massive buildings here because then it will block the road. I don't know how I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do. I don't want it exactly the same as the last layout, but it's not going to be because I've got these raised platforms. So that is the idea. That is the plan. Let's see how we go from there. So let's just say that's a basic download of my strategizing. That's just a quick, hours worth of moving things around, placing bits down. All subject to change. It always is with the Lego City. As you know, if you've been following this channel for a while, it's been changed probably 3, maybe 4 times. It used to be all on the ground down there when I used to have all my fish tanks. So this changes so much, but that's the bonus of having Lego. It can be changed. So there is so much more potential, so much more planning and mapping out to do. Plus, it's a case of maximising the space usage. So I think, for example, that is a pretty good idea. Drop a comment down below what you think. Is it a good layout? Is it a good plan? Is it going to work? It's definitely worth giving it a shot. Oh yeah, plus I've also got the Rainbow Hotel that I want to put back in here once I've shuffled it around, rebuilt it maybe, I don't know. I also had an idea, which isn't going to happen, or if it is, it's not going to be for a long time, of a massive arena that you could play football, basketball, have a wrestling match. That would be absolutely epic. There we go, swapped them over, gives you a bit of a rough idea. Actually looks so much better. That looks absolutely epic. I love it. And the fact that I got my Iron Man helmet looking down on my ex-mansion, that's just an added bonus. So thank you all very, very much for watching. If you're one of this 79 to 80% that is not subscribed, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.